Local recording on. Betwixt the raising of the undying emperor and the great planar war that shook the heavens, there was an age of contradiction, where cannons won kingdoms and muskets kept the peace, a brave few won the hearts of the conquered and conquerors alike. Of these we speak of the decline of great kingdoms and cultures under the heel of empire. Of those we speak of gladiators and the untold thousands that worship them. Of this an age of glory, where kings would be slaves and a gladiator would be king. Welcome to Die Dragon Die Presents the Dread and Circus campaign, season 3, episode 15. Marty has been caffeinated and hanging out with the stream, doing the Dread and Circus coalition stuff. Before this, we have taken a quick bio break, which I forgot to take, and we are back with the Ontario crew. Let me unmute their face holes and get them into the game. How's it going, gents?
Oopa.
Hello. No, okay.
Yep.
So it's been a bit of a long week, we'll say. Some things at work went a little sideways, so we're unsidewaysing it, and I'm taking a break doing this. Other news, I've registered for a strongman competition here in Pickering, so it'll be sometime in June. I'm going to go move rocks and pull trucks and throw tires or flip tires and stuff. So
This is gonna be Adam. I'm not doing more overtime. I'm not doing more overtime.
Just bring the rage of work.
Rage sounds work away.
That sounds hard, Adam, and that reminds me, I want some chips.
you son of a bitch! I've got my apples.
Get me that
and
hamburger.
I actually have a. I made burgers today. I made 1.5 kilos of ground beef into like burger patties, and I just got a stack of burger patties and buns just waiting. It's Swedish fish.
In my mouth. All right. Sugar I should not be having. Okay. I'm not good for talking. How's it going for you, Ahmed? What's going on?
It's pretty good. Work was busy, but it's the weekend, so they know not to even look me up. It's good times. Everything's good. Kids are good. You guys are good? Well, one kid took a Hot Wheel to the forehead. and then actually this is funny.
I'm about fitness too. It's in my mouth.
I got there's a game called Conan Exiles. It's been out for a while, and it's basically it's a survival game. Conan comes and rescues you.
Oh yeah, I heard about that. Yeah.
It's actually really good. Download it and play it. So my kids, I start the game. My kids see like Conan walk up. They're like, Magnus! Yeah!
Nice.
So begins the legend.
They're gonna have a hard time interacting with people about pop culture references if it's all the internal mythos is what you're using as references,
Yeah.
not remembering the core common stories.
Lord Lemmy came down from the clouds. And Grizaak, Lord of Lightning. And
That's awesome.
Uker that carried the world on his shoulders.
Oh, it'll happen. It'll definitely happen.
Worlds, please.
Just his fucking. He's got some sort of like flail of worlds.
Oh man. Oh dude, that's so awesome.
In my hand.
I have
come get you at night.
one of my little black books. One of my little black books, like this guy right here, has on the cover Legends, Planar Wars, and I've started scribbling into it. There are some good things.
Marty,
in
we
there.
attacked the plane.
We attacked the planes.
The whole thing.
The whole thing?
All of it.
The magic missile of the darkness.
So there are some things that are crystallizing and ideas, and they're percolating, and this usually happens eight months ahead of
We
when we
are
actually
holding the plane of air hostage. Without payment, we are. There will be no air for anyone.
This
Oh,
was like the plot of Spaceballs.
Pretty much, yeah.
you think I hate worlds? Wait till I get to the planes. Anyways.
Suck.
Marty, why do you always hate your campaign worlds? Because. All right, why don't we... Mark, you doing okay?
Yeah, good.
Okay, cool.
I'm not working, so I'm happy.
Awesome. Apparently there's a theme. Work is work. It's not called play for a reason. Let's do a quick recap of what happened last game. I'm sure Adam watched the video. We played on Saturday and Monday because we got a really late start on Saturday, so we kind of finished up the dungeon. I'll read off the last two then because Adam wasn't here. Game 13 was Uck. The adventurers...
Oh yeah. That's funny.
The first part is... The adventurers plunge into the deepest depths of the tomb works and in search of the Sword of Stealing. They find a trio of devils and a number of Medusa statues guarding the final chambers of the complex. Game 14, called the Dawnbringers. The adventurers clean out the remaining chambers of the tomb of the Iron Medusa. Zita and company finds a suspicious sword thrust into the body of a fallen golem. The sword radiates no magic, is fine but plain compared to the many treasures they found within the Imperial crypts. Before they leave, they study the Imperial hedge staff and contemplate the fates of their fallen companions. Helpful spirits lead Vloughveng to something he thought was long ago lost. And I think we left off with the group teleporting back to Terraslene.
That is correct.
Okay. I'm going to take a quick glance at the conclave or the circus sheet because I want to know what Arlen and the others have been doing in Terraslene while they've been waiting for the Doomsday Adventurers to return. So I'm going to go.
Did we get a message back from the king or from Duncan about intercepting the artifact that Edward the Shadow was after?
We told him about it, and we haven't had a chance to play that.
Yeah, I think those are the types of things that we need to kind of rewind our brains back. You know,
that was my first question of Ahmed. Did you solve this problem yet? And then he was like,
We didn't.
I found a sword. So I'm like, oh, cool.
There were a lot of magic items that you guys have been giving. Make sure you have a glance at your character sheets. OneNote does do a good job at letting you know when updates are made. But it's easy to nuke those updates. There are still some significant treasures that do need to be divvied. Now let's look at Arlen. So Arlen and the group that are with him returned to Terraslene on week 40, and it looks like the other adventuring group won't return for another 5 days. So let's go through planning. There has been communication back and forth that you know that they're on their way and that there have been losses. You don't know exactly what has transpired. So let's finish out the 4th week for the Circus of Dread before we move on to the 5th. There are some people. This is the same week that Arlen was. Arlen and company were at the tomb of Duke Haramil. Looks like Undwin needs some training. We'll say that he got that by thanks to his tutelage underneath Phineas. He is now a 4th level summoner and a 4th level conjurer. Yay. Godiva has 9 training points. She needs 2 more to finish upping her charisma. So give me 9 rolls, please. 96s. I know Godiva is off with.
For it, Mark.
Yep, there are enough successes. So it looks like we were raising her charisma. It says 6 out of 8. So it feels like. Oh no, that's 1. So that's 1 point of charisma. Go ahead and make that update to her sheet, Mark.
Okay.
Was she training charisma 2 times? Or just
No, she's an 8th level, so she needs 8 successes to train, I think. So she might be continuing the charisma train, but
okay, so she's got 6 right now from that roll.
She only needed a 2, I think.
yeah.
Wondering if you could. If
Oh,
they roll into the next point.
I guess if you continued the same thing, is her charisma continuing? Are you continue to train her in charisma, or does she have all the charisma she needs?
Hang on, let me see.
Well, is it maxed out? That's
That's the question. That's what I'm checking.
if it's not, then yeah, continue.
Okay, so 6 successes total. and-
No, she can take another.
Give her. Give her.
Okay. So you needed 2, and then you've got 4 more. So 4 out of 8. And it feels like you're going to continue that training exercise next week or the next turn. I'm going to leave that blank because there are lots of others that need training as well, and Godiva may not get the resources.
First thing Arlen's doing before training is
Hold on. We're
Selling
just
stuff.
finishing out the week. We're finishing out the week where you guys were adventuring. Barrack Tarn
okay.
Barrack Tarn is entering himself into a tournament called the Tournament of the Blood Rose.
Son of
There's
It-
Lady. Is it Lady Daystra? Who's the
The-
charm lady?
The Charm Lady, Lady Daystra of the Knights of.
Right.
Broken
That
Shield.
sounds like their tournament.
No, it's actually the Commissioner's tournament. He's having a veteran tournament consisting of 16 gladiators, and the one that at the end of it gets a pot. So I think Barrack Tarn is veteran. Let me double check. I think he's going to be a very good candidate for winning this. Yep, he's a veteran gladiator. So he's entering into the tournament, which means that he has a set number of fights. I guess up to 4. If math is still working.
Do these count as fights towards a
Yes.
gladiator's record?
Yes,
So would it be 4? Would the tournament count as 4 fights?
correct.
Are there open slots?
No, it would count as 4 fights if he made it to the championship, right? Like, so his fights in the tournament do count towards his total that he needs.
These are non-lethals, I take it.
Now, what Demon Lord seems to be reacting to is that they've got a couple of veterans, they being the coalition.
These people in town.
Yeah.
Don't know.
Yeah,
I
these,
don't know about these guys yet.
new people. So they've got their gladiators. Barrack Tarn is going to enter, and they will be in the same tournament together, which is also an option for the Conclave. But we'll get to the Conclave a little bit later.
Had some issues.
So I'm going to make note that Barrack Tarn has entered into that tournament, which means that he will be busy for a bit. And then we need to roll a random event for the Circus of Dread. There is a 60% chance for a random event.
When
Mark.
does that tournament start? 60 on the
It starts in like the 4th or 5th week of the season. So it's possible that the Conclave could definitely get into that action. The others that are on the road, depends what happens. So Barrack Tarn entered the tournament, and you rolled 60 random event. Woo! I need a D100 to see the weeful or woefulness of the event.
It is slightly woeful.
It is unfavorable. Give me a D100.
Which Ludus is this?
This is the circus.
50.
Great.
Something has happened to the stable. Like your resources.
The poor conch can't get a break.
What's that?
Can't get a break.
No. Okay. So let's have a look here. Give me.
Somebody's got us stood.
Somebody's puppy died. The morale is down by 4.
No. Ooh. Okay. Percentile.
20?
Some of your personnel left.
Well, it's been like a month that we haven't talked to them.
Let's see. Facilities for Circus of Dread. 5. Some of your, you've actually lost all of your merchants.
Diva doesn't understand no means no.
Yeah, merchants went off and did other things, so you really don't have ties to your markets anymore. You're all spread out. I think your actual caravan is overrun with several of the PC's followers now. So
Probably,
the merchants went off and did other things while you were ignoring them effectively. It's a 3 talent loss is effectively what that comes out to.
To elfdom.
Right.
I think it's isn't it like a
1 talent for 1 rank.
it's 6 talents, 6 talent loss.
1
I
talent
guess.
to get your 1 rank back, and
Then 2 talents. Oh, we only had 2. I thought we had 3.
yeah.
We only had 2 ranks. Never mind.
Yep. You still have the facilities, I guess. Like you still have the equipment and like how to appraise books and merchant scales and accounting and an accounting wagon or something like that. But you just got nobody. They got snatched up. All right, enough of that. Which brings us to the actual week that that Arlen and company need to plan out. And let's go and find their beautiful faces and maybe have a conversation about what it is that they're going to do next. Let's go to Citadel by the Lake, the Dam, and let's gather all the folks that have come back from the field. Duke Haramel's tomb. So Radamer is not there. Nibbles.
No.
Godiva is actually in
Fallenstone.
Fallenstone. Yep. So we've got Sam. Where's Arlen? Where are all of you mother truckers? There's Arlen's chair. Where'd you guys go? Oh,
The globe of invisibility.
because you were on the carpet. That's why you're flying around.
Oh yeah, the carpet.
Fucking
I forgot all about the carpet. Best investment ever.
Okay, Ugg, Sam, Damian, Widget, the chair, the carpet, Arlen. Who am I missing? Edward is dead.
Cade was in that group.
Yeah.
Yeah, Cade was in that group.
Where is the ugly dwarf?
We're not talking about Cade, not Grizaak, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
Oh, they're all on this map too. Okay.
Oh.
All right, I am on the conversation layer. All the tokens are there.
Okay.
I'm muted.
Yes, you were.
Yes, you were.
Looking outside, I'm like, hey. Cade's the ugly guy. I don't know where he is. Oh, there he is.
Oh yeah, we got to tell Madam Vampire and Mr. Pickles what happened to Radamer.
Okay, probably
Yeah,
worth
we're gonna deal with
worth
that.
me catching you guys up on, or reminding you of what we left off with this group. Holy shit!
What's wrong?
We're going back to episode 5. It has been a long time.
Yeah, the dungeon took a while.
After a harrowing evening atop Tomb Hill, the Circus of Dread returns to the tomb of Duke Haramel in search for the Cradle of Shadows. They interrogate the Darkfolk prisoner, nicknamed Dynamo, and learn about their enemy. Widget finds an artifact consecrated to Dracia Umbravilda herself as if she were a deity. Arlen spends a large portion of the circus funds on a new mode of transportation.
That's one way of saying he wasted a crap load of money.
Lamborghini. we told him to rent the van. He came back with a brand new Lamborghini.
Yep. You guys have returned here by teleporting. I believe Arlen's the teleporter. I think somebody had to stay in the wilderness for a night while you went and fetched them. It was Sam.
Kate and Sam.
Kate and Sam kind of hanging out in a tree.
Hanging out in a tree.
Hey. What's going on? I don't know what's going on.
Talking. All right. You have a lot. You have a lot of stuff to divvy. I know that this treasure pile may seem not as sparkly after looking at the Doomsday character treasure pile.
What do you mean? This is the best? Oh, look at all the stuff.
Right.
Nobody could have more stuff than this. It's not possible.
You also have Edward's body and his gear.
We just need to shove his shadow back in his body. Arlen, how do you shove the shadow back in the body?
You
can't,
don't
Sam.
do that, Sam.
You can't.
You shove the body back in the shadow?
No.
What is
that's
gone
not how it
once
works.
souls have been corrupted, there are few ways that he can bring them back. I'll have to speak with my deity about this.
That was Ugg sniffing.
Did you hear word from Duncan?
You gotta remind me, who the hell's Duncan?
That's the Duke's
Wizard, funny
friend.
hat.
Oh yeah, that was last night. No, I have not communicated with him yet. We only sent him the warning last night, so we'll have to see how they're doing today. I'm still due to do my sentence.
Did you tell him we didn't find the cradle?
Yes. Hold on. I don't remember. Let's see.
Were we supposed to find?
Locations?
Wait,
We're looking
so I missed that last session of this one as well. We were supposed to find a cradle in that one. They were in the cradle dungeon, right?
Yeah.
Looking for the cradle.
The artifact.
Looking for cradle. Peeler's weapon against shadows in giant blah blah blah. We're still looking for it. Protected and destroyed in very powerful shadows. Okay, so I'll have to. No. We informed him that we're still looking for it. I'll let him know today that the shadows have taken it.
The cradle appeared as
Oh, they stole it. I remember
appeared as an orb sometimes, but sometimes like an egg-like seat that the Duke was sitting inside of. You did find atop his not the false crypt, but the true mausoleum. Upon his sarcophagus, there was something that looked like it could have held an orb, and there was nothing on it. You had guessed that some of the dark folk that whose tracks you found in the dungeon have absconded with it.
Mm-hmm.
Well, there was 4 so remaining. Yes.
We're gonna need to track down the dark folk.
Yes, I'm aware.
Well, if they're capable of traveling between planes, but what's the term you?
Shadow walk. There's shadow walking.
No, I was looking for the term "shit out of luck." But,
There's
shadow
that
walk.
too. Yes.
Maybe the other group will get the shadow priestess. She should be able to get you there.
Isn't she some kind of oracle? Don't oracles know stuff? Ugg says as his little arm is scratching the back of his neck.
Oracles think they know things. They really don't.
Oracles are the ones that they see the future stuff, right? They're like seers or whatever, like blind people.
Well, some of them claim to be.
They can cast spells similar to me, but they don't need to prepare as much.
Aren't you an oracle? Like, have powers and know stuff?
Yeah, Arlen, you got powers, you know stuff.
You know what I mean, says Ugg. his fist balls on the table, like, you know what I mean, right?
I know what you mean. I know what you mean, my friend.
Of course, I know what you mean.
Unfortunately, not enough to fix Edward's situation. not powerful enough to do that.
Do you think so? If we can't shove Edward back in his body, can we like send his
Spirit to rest.
shadow to
Rest?
It's not Pharasma. Oh goddamn.
Bacab.
It's
Weejats?
it's not Weejats. It's Bacab. Yeah. Which is Widget's. Which is and or possibly was Widget's god, which was the embarrassing part.
I don't know Sam. I don't know Samwise. I mean,
Samwise.
You think I'm gonna go over here making fucking sausages and tomatoes?
you didn't get it.
Oh,
on.
Sam.
If you got morose, you'd carry him up Mount Doom.
I'll carry him. Where now?
I don't know, Sam. I don't know.
So,
I must commune about this. It
You
was
also-
our family.
you haven't heard back from the others yet, have you?
No, I've made a few sendings, but nothing yet. It does not bode well, but I will
Yeah.
try. I've prepared many sendings today, and I should be able to hopefully get through to them.
Losses.
Try more than just Zita this time.
Losses, plural. Bit of a problem.
Yeah, so they should have gone into the tomb today, right?
Yep.
Okay.
They've already been in the tomb, actually.
Okay, so yeah, so yesterday we're not able to communicate. Yeah, so he would have tried maybe 2 yesterday, not able to get through, and then today he'll blast through it.
Oh. Give me a second.
Foods? Can't hear me. I'm assuming it's
Hello?
foods.
Yep.
Hello. Sorry, I was
He's not muted.
Not
La 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 privacy.
Thank you for bringing me my beautiful monkey.
Well, yeah, if that monkey goes feral, we know what happened.
The big D&D player today was taken down by a monkey.
I have been binge watching Demon Watch like, for the past week and a half. Like
Yeah.
to the point like I've watched almost nothing else.
Demon Watch is fun, isn't it?
Yeah, you've got some good characters on there. It's fun.
It's so.
It's
I
awesome.
don't know. I
Sorry.
heard rumor. I heard their rumor of Mark making a Demon Watch character, and I like that rumor. I also heard rumors of other things, and I liked all the rumors. So when it's like pick a rumor, I'm like I can't. I don't want. Fucking. It's like, oh, do you want like a nice prime rib or a sirloin steak or some sushi, or it's like it's all good. Nobody's like, do you want a McDonald's hamburger? Like no.
No.
Okay. You guys are basically waiting around trying to make contact with the Doomsday group at this point.
We're also gonna want to make certain we get back to Duncan. You know, Shadow Swarm. Don't want to get blamed for that.
I know.
Might also want to get you a seat or a bucket or something for your carpet. I mean, something to hold you in there.
We'll just leave it in there for a while. For now, leave it in the one of our rooms for now.
Hey, can you make it sort of fold in sort of a seat position and just fly around like it's your seat? Like a flying throne. That would make it worth it.
I will think about it.
Yeah, a seat with wheels on it. It's not going to work too well on the carpet.
Yeah,
That'd be
you're
a
gonna
fun
roll.
game.
You're gonna roll off. So
Carpet's not to be used here.
I'm
Using my chair.
I'm certain there's a way to latch in the seat so that he can roll on, roll off, roll out, so to speak.
If you can just sew it on with straps.
Yeah, but we want something that's, you know.
Arlen's wheeling out, and he's starting to look at the items of Edward.
You know, they have these guys. They make these limbs out of like magic and metal, and they just kind of work.
Or, for half of what you spent on the carpet, you could have got your legs back.
to his god to help Edward find his way to him.
Okay. Are you using any particular powers in this prayer, or is it just a prayer to your deity?
It's a peasant prayer, isn't it? It's a
It's a
peasant.
peasant.
Oh, it's such a descriptive phrase. Oh, it's so descriptive.
Funny.
It is good.
Just-
Hopes,
yeah.
dreams, prayers, and wishes.
No, this one is just a non-powers
Okay.
prayer.
I just want to make sure you weren't actually using a spell or something.
That's what I mean by peasant prayer.
Okay. What are you doing with Edward's body?
Edward's body has been in the their morgue, which
Oh, that's right.
General
Repose.
Repose, yeah.
Okay. So you've got all of his gear plus the gear from, or the treasure from the Duke Caramel's tomb.
Yes. I will communicate with Duncan today, and let him know that the orb's been missing, and that shadow folk are about, and that shadow swarms are also about, and that we have treasures for this Duke.
There are 2 people that had got enough XP in that tomb to train to level. That is Arlen and Sam. So you may want to do the training.
Hey, I might know a thing or two about punching things better if you give me a chance. I learned something from those shadows. I want to try out.
So yeah, it is time for Sam and Arlen to get some training. So I assume you're scheduling that in the next block.
Okay. Yeah. So winter, Sam training.
Oh, Sam's still cursed. I forgot about that. Okay.
Should probably take care of that for you.
Are you fast training or no?
It'll cost how much? Sorry, I've got a lot of things going on right now. We're going to 10th level, so it'll cost what?
Sam is going to 9th. So it'll cost 900. Takes 10 days. You can 1800 5 days.
Yeah, I'll do that for Sam.
Okay. So 3600 for training for the both of you.
So 1800, but I'm going to 10th.
Same value.
Okay. Okay. So
Okay.
there are a lot of sendings that I do this day.
Yeah. So you're still trying to maintain or trying to get contact with the Doomsday folks over the next day or two. That will happen, and then you'll just be waiting for them to come back. Give me the sendings. Give me the sendings that are not to the Doomsday folks.
Yep, I'm doing that right now. Chat with someone for 2 seconds, and I will.
Okay. What is? Ugg is going to be idle, or he's going to help with the treasure, I guess?
Yeah, we've got to send it to Vatapult so the Duke can get his pick first.
Bug's a higher level than Sam. So he could have trained Sam?
He
could train Sam.
Damian can help too. Or, what level is Arlen?
10th.
Like going to 10th?
Yeah.
Going to 10th.
So if Damian is 10th, can he train Arlen in Arcane?
Yes.
Okay.
But you'd be rolling dice and looking for 10 successes. So
Ugh.
I would let Damian and Sam... Damian and Ugg help Arlen and Sam respectively for half the cost. So you've got other teachers and Sam and Damian around providing pointers.
Okay.
Cool. I like how you guys are playing as a team. This group is awesome.
D&D's a team game.
Tell that to the Conclave.
The Conclave's all sorts of...
Once I get dominate person, it will all be a team.
Do my bidding, yes, Master Ashoka.
That is what I mean by team.
Team. And Cade could also definitely help, especially
Cade
with.
is pretty. Well, he needs to. He needs to. Well, no, he can't level yet.
Nope.
Yep.
Yeah, he can train this week. Like, be a trainer. Next week he can train.
Okay. And what is that leaves a widget with an open week to do stuff. Is Widget going to be the one dealing with all the treasure?
Certainly can be. So put me on treasure duty.
Okay. Does Widget know teleport?
Widget's not ninth.
Okay. So it sounds like Widget will need somebody to teleport him back to Vatapole to deliver to either Duncan or the head wizard, the Grand Wizard of Vatapole, the treasures, so that they can look through it before allowing you to take your piece. As per the contract, the Duke gets to look through the things that you found in the tomb.
Yeah, I just remember what happened last time he bought something at fair market value.
Your third.
Right. That's what he considered fair, which is totally fair.
Screw your face.
I think this is. Oops. I think this is 25. So this is going to Duncan.
Did you count?
Yeah. I have been sleeping.
Counting to 25 hard. Got it. Okay, so this is to Duncan.
14, 15. Oh, dude, 34. Look good.
Write it like in stanzas.
Cradles.
Use
stolen.
markup or the mat approach.
Yep.
Use stanzas.
Cradle stolen by shadow folk. Difficult to follow. Shadow swarms mounting in north. Crypt treasures ready for Duke to purchase. Do you have Palor's weapon? It's in the sending, communications sending tab.
Yep. Yeah, I'm reading it now. Duncan responds. He knows about the spell and is efficient with his words. And I'm going to use the method that Adam suggested.
You don't have to count to more than 5, and you have 5 fingers. You have 5 lines of 5 words, makes 25.
Oh,
I am missing a letter in haiku. I was looking at haiku, we got hiku. Hiku's not right.
Be right back.
Unfortunate. Way to track? Question mark. Shadows, how many? Question mark. Bring treasure to Phineas. Interested in shadow magic. Yes, at Giant's Well now. Face of Dawn is safe. Duncan.
Oh, it's called the Face of Dawn.
Face it down.
Arlen's gonna do another sending. I've got many prepared today,
Mm-hmm.
and I will respond to his answers. Copy two. So basically, correct me if I'm wrong, Wilbur. There were widgets. Sorry, there were 4 shadows, 4 shadow folk remaining. Yes.
That's about right. There was also, an untold number of shadows.
Yes. No. That's
Also, you can call me Wilbur if you want. Just sound
No.
like my mom.
no problem. No problem. Thank you.
Kind of look like my mom.
Thank you, my friend. Well,
Well, she was taller than you, although she had legs.
thank you, widget.
Anytime.
All right. So basically, the response is
Arlen's just gonna be in a padded room. One day he's just gonna be committed. Too much
shadow
stress.
folk are shadow walking. 4 shadow folk shadow walking. Bring treasure to Phineas. Treasure arriving 10-day. We can support you in fighting shadows. Shadows that have their memories. I don't think I told him about this.
Having extra words, maybe memories and spells might be useful.
Memories and powers from life. There. Okay. 4 shadow folk shadow walking. Treasure arriving 10-day. We can support you in fighting shadows that have their memories and powers from life. Man, it's so much easier than just counting it, because I feel like such a fool doing it.
Matt showed us the light 6 years ago, 7 years ago.
Yeah, I don't use that spell much. I mean, let me do it. I guess I could.
All right. So Duncan's response to your sending.
I'm busy. Back off.
No.
Okay.
Do what you can to find the cradle. Will come to you with the face. Do not tell others about it. See you soon. Duncan.
Of Duncan.
Now you've got me spelling his name
Cheers. Like, seriously, you're just wasting spells now? So wasteful of you.
Okay, Duncan said he's going to come to you.
Okay. Alright, well, we will spend the week training, so it's gonna cost us half
Yeah, 1,800.
total.
Yep.
Okay, good. Because we're a little light on the on the money fund. You know.
I wonder why we're a little light on the old Gungadin. Hey, Mark, do you know why we don't have any money in this fucking circus anymore? Audience commenting, we have no money.
Why ever could that be? Were we robbed? Did somebody defraud us?
Actually, no, we still
Why did we buy a
still have-
fucking flying carpet?
we still have 20 talents.
Somebody call the Punisher. Something terrible has happened.
Okay, during your training montage, the whole group of you are training and going through it. Widget has a time to go through all the magic items and get things identified. Duncan does arrive to Terraslene, and he meets up with Arlen, Widget, and I guess Damian, while he's not training, can also be helping looking at the magics.
Sure.
Given that he has some knowledge of such things. And Duncan arrives and strides into the room, and you can see that there is a very nervous man who no longer stutters, thanks to Arlen and his largesse.
Maybe if you charged for some of that healing, we'd have some more money in the coffers. That's all I'm saying.
Quiet.
Jervis is here we are. They are staying here.
Thank you, Mark.
War Mage Duncan. Arlen. He puffs and he's really loud when he comes into the room, and he can see all the treasures that are placed out by Widget and Damian, and the sweaty grognards, Sam, Cade, and Ugg, out in the hallway talking about the neat flip that Cade did.
Yeah, he's gonna put your knee up over your head when you jump, and it's really easy, like this.
Sam tries. Sam fails.
9th level brawler. How's your acrobatics?
9th level brawler's acrobatics is pretty good. Plus 24.
Okay, no, he does not fail.
Nope.
You guys are not that different in power. Cade is good, but Ugg is also a 9th level Ugg rogue brawler.
That's a good description.
Fair enough.
He's got a plus 15, so yeah, he's the one that probably has problems with the.
Well, see, Sam tried. He was expecting to fail, but then like the magic of the ring saved him. Like he has a plus 10 acrobatics ring.
Yep.
So he just kind of like looks at them. I could do it. Yeah, why can't you do it?
My third arm gets in the way.
You can use it.
Well,
to
I got the
bounce off
third
the
leg
ground.
problem, and it's basically the same thing.
Jervis kind of sees the three lugs and just closes the door politely so that the wizards can have a more private conversation. Because Duncan was like waiting for the laughter to end. What do we have here?
War Mage Duncan. I apologize for sending you that message and requesting your attention at the face of dawn. We were stretched thin with resources. These are the weapons and the magics that we found in the crypt, and Widget here has been kind enough to go through all of them and identify them.
Do not be silly. We have the same enemy. Neither you nor I nor anyone between here and Vatapor wants to see the north overrun with shadows. In fact, I was very surprised when you mentioned the weapon of Pelor. Their faith was much stronger in the past. The Coronel of Terraslene used to call out to this god directly. And that weapon you spoke of, indeed, is more like a shield.
Whatever it is, you have shadows that still cast spells.
Yes, one of our fallen is a fighter and a caster. On his death, the shadow claimed him, and he was able to speak and remembered us. And I'm certain still has his abilities and powers.
That
There is one shadow that was released by the shadow folk when they were entering the crypt. They were able to steal they were able to steal the cradle, but they were not able to steal the treasures that resided within the sarcophagus.
The shadow, the leader of the shadows was, I think the word was a dusk general, dusk knight, dusk lord,
Dusk Lord.
dusk lord.
Correct. We did capture one of their own, and he is in captivity.
We're just
there.
looking at like Duncan's eyes to see if there's any sort of
Yeah.
recognition behind them.
Yeah, Duncan has a grave look when you mention shadows that retained their minds, and then the Dusk Lords, and
They're intelligent.
I
he's-
tell you what,
he's now
shadow
trying-
magic missiles suck.
They do shadows around this shadow is able to control the other shadows around him, but upon his departure they become mindless again. But he can control many. We were attacked by a swarm of 60 or so.
I will have to speak to the custodian here. He may know more about such things, but I do believe that you are making reference to one of the Dusk Lords, or
Old Elvish general guys, yep.
and particularly there was one called the Arch Shadow.
Loravel.
Yes.
He was chatty.
Yes.
If the Dusk Lords have risen, then this is clearly the work of the dragon in Elf Shadow. And if there are shadows wandering around in great number, then the peoples of the north are in grave danger once again. Such
Yes.
things didn't happen since the time of the Shadow War.
With shadows shadows of this intelligence can easily create an army. They will swallow all of the people in the north and head south.
So this Dusk Lord was carried here in an urn.
Okay, he's listening. He doesn't like,
He
you're
was
telling
used-
him things he doesn't know.
Yeah. This urn was used as a weapon, like a firebomb, except like unleashes a shadow plague.
Yes.
Definitely an act of war.
And also the soldiers that were protecting the crypt and along the way, they are not prepared. Their weapons are not meant to fight these creatures. They could not harm them.
The man's a wizard. I'm sure he understands the problems they had.
Shadows do beget more shadows, but the silver lining is that they are not highly intelligent.
You have a general at the head of them, they start to act a lot smarter. And
The swarm
I mean,
is commanded like an army.
our fallen foe, or our fallen friend, retained his memories, at least his recent ones,
And
his
his
intentions.
His knowledge. That is why I sent you the plea to go to the face.
Yes. The face will be brought back here. While it may be against the Imperium to display such a face, I believe that that face was once displayed upon the highest towers here in Terraslene. Before we would do such a thing, we would have to have dire need to do so.
Why don't you just put some clay on it or something? It's the shiny, five-faced god emblem of brightness to protect everyone from shadow.
Yes, the face will affect the mythal that surrounds Terraslene.
Couldn't you put an illusion on it? Widget, you're very powerful with these things. I'm
It's
sure I wouldn't want to bother Duncan with it.
Are you suggesting putting an illusion on the mythal?
I think he's suggesting putting an illusion on the artifact.
Well, around the area that it would.
All
I
right,
was thinking
then.
more like clay or putty.
Well, around the area it would be in. You can do that.
Yes.
It would fool many, and the ones it wouldn't fool would already know of this situation.
Again, the custodian will know more about precisely what the face will do to the mythal, and what powers it may bestow. It is something that I will do while I am here. Does he know that Widget's a Shadowcaster?
No.
Okay. Are any of these items peculiar in nature, hard to discover their properties? The Duke is particularly interested in... He kind of picks up some stuff and looks at it. The Duke is in particular interested in things that are crafted with the weapon of the enemy.
Why is the Duke concerned with that?
He has become... While I agree with the general approach to understand your enemies, you have a much better chance at defeating it.
Widget is
That's sense motive. Because you're full of shit. I know you are.
Widget's gonna hand them a wand, a shadow wand of blindness, deafness.
Okay, Widget pulls it out, puts it down. Are you sense motiving on Duncan?
On Duncan, when he's saying, "Oh, he just wants to know, understand your enemies." Like, you're full of shit. Because I saw your face, dude. I just gotta double check. It's been a while since I played Damian.
I don't think I ever want to meet this guy. I don't think Widget needs to be in the same room as that man.
As the Duke?
Ever.
I like how there's fear of the Duke. There's genuine fear of...
Psycho.
It's like there's fear of the Duke before the Duke became like the uber evil Duke, right? The normal Duke inspires fear because, like, oh great, all of your social and political ties are just destroyed. Have fun with that.
I got a 31 on my sense motive.
Duncan is protective of the Duke, but there was grave concern. He's not telling you what those concerns are. He's loyal to the Duke, but the loyalty is probably being strained by this.
It's a pity we couldn't find that cradle for the Duke.
Yes, he says, and now you've got Duncan's attention, like he's looking directly at Damian. Pity. And now there's suspicion that has crossed Duncan's face.
The only way I can think of finding the cradle is to get more information from the prisoner regarding the four that are roaming, and to try to scry them and teleport to them. That is the only course that I see. I do not know any possessed magics that would get me beyond that.
And once we have that, we'll find your cradle, and then the Duke will do... Well, what does the Duke want to do with it?
Well, I'm not certain.
It's, to my understanding, it's only good for making more shadow people.
Kind of looked like it was a familiar on the wall scrolls.
It was something that was following Duke Caramel.
Interesting.
It was floating over his shoulder, and he was using it at his whim.
Luckily, the Grand Mage of Vatapol and I will take possession of this artifact and study it before handing it over to the Duke. That's what he says.
Wise decision, of course.
Well,
He seems a little...
Never heard anything.
He's not sure what you guys are getting at, but he didn't like that little exchange.
I don't even know this guy.
This is what you get for inviting Damian to a dinner.
He goes and he looks at the wand and he detects magic, and he detects magic again, and he looks at the wand. He almost doesn't want to touch it, Yes, this type of magic. Perhaps
It gives
this
you quite the headache if you use it.
perhaps this bauble will keep the Duke satisfied. And he glances towards Damian without looking at Damian again.
Damian's got it like his regular smug smirk. Like, I like
Damian is such a shit.
it.
I'm assuming you have no use for this, is what he says to Arlen.
No, the Duke is. This is for something. This is, as you said, the items for the Duke to purchase.
Yes.
Purchase, you get that? This ain't a charity.
Cade comes in and is now at the table. He's all sweaty. He skipped the bath.
Once a year, it weakens you.
Ooh, I can smell you from here, Kate.
Okay, he's looking at Duke Caramel's armor, the Doom Blade, the dirk, the belt.
The belt is awesome.
These things unknown. I assume that you'll continue to help us in this effort to recover the artifact.
Well, it could be in any number of tombs now at this point. I mean, I'm sure they're not. This isn't the only tomb they'll raid. We might need some more permits.
If there are other tombs, then there might be other magics that might be useful. As I said, my only course of action that I can find now, without consulting with the other magicians, is getting more information regarding the four traveling from the prisoner and trying to locate them through scrying.
You have a prisoner?
Yes, we captured one of the shadow folk, and he's been brought here last evening.
He's quite mad.
Ah.
He is. It appears that most of them are like him.
Then I will have to speak to this prisoner.
Yes, I can guide you to him.
These are interesting. He's like poking at the shadow wrappings.
Yeah, that would be his clothes.
Yes.
He really wants them. Not 100% certain why. Hey, those are dynamos!
Oh, Duncan identifies Dynamo's shadow wrappings. They are a body slot. Plus 10 competence
Whoa. plus
bonus
10 competence?
to stealth.
Ooh. Okay.
Is that a dog?
That's a dog.
That's
Adam's, that's Adam. Got the shirt.
Looks like chicken.
Looks like chicken.
We eat everything here.
Okay. He seems more interested in keeping the wand, and well, he's got the wand because it's shadow magic, and he can maybe they can do some experiments with it or something. He poked at Duke Caramel's amulet of shadows and said that's interesting, but didn't take it. And then he kind of lifted up with a like his own wand, looking at Dynamo's shadow wrappings, and said these are interesting. They might also be shadow magic.
So you'd be connected with like the Imperial mages, right?
Yes.
Widget is going to give him some of the urn and some dust.
Okay.
As Widget collects up the pieces, he's going to give some to him.
Ah, yes.
We can use that to scry upon the dust lord.
Well, scry upon the dust lord, or try to create another vessel to restrain him, or
Restrain.
well, if I don't know how to kill it. Do you know how to kill it?
With enough light and fire, the thing will extinguish in death.
Yeah, with enough light and fire, I'll extinguish with death. You'll extinguish with death.
Arlen's
You'll extinguish with death.
like, Arlen's like,
This is
Oh,
interesting.
now, Arlen, surely your sea snake has enough light in him to put out the dust.
He takes your stuff and says, "You have more of this.
Mhm.
This may come in handy when the true fighting begins." Speaking of trapping souls,
This is a strange segue, Duncan.
there is a crystal that you guys have on your table that's broken, and he's looking at it. This might do. It is the fractured remains of a Trap the Soul crystal, 27 hit dice.
What the hell was inside that? The Satan's anus or whatever it is out in the middle of the woods.
I did not expect it to be broken, but I believe that the tormented soul of Duke Haramil was stored in here.
That's a big gem.
Yep. If it is repaired, and I'll have to do it magically, it is a 27 talent gem.
Send it to Eggy. I'm sure he can get it done. He can fix anything, that one.
Are we just talking like
I'm
a
sorry.
Maypole?
I'm sorry, the Grand Mage of that.
The Grand Mage, thank you.
What a knob! What a
I looked
bellend!
at Duncan, they were friends for a long time. I apologize.
Friends, I see. You may want to get this fixed and learn that spell.
Does that sort of spell work on undead? Specifically shadows?
I don't see why not. If the undead has a soul, and incorporeal undead are souls, in a way. Spirits, if you will.
It's a lot easier than actually fighting him.
I must admit, looking forward to fighting him.
No, I. The last time was close enough.
You need to be prepared. Don't worry, we'll be ready for them.
Do any of the
Sam and Ugg come in after their bath.
do any of the hedge staffs actually block the shadows from being able to sort of morph into the ethereal?
An interesting application.
I mean, it would be much easier to fight them if they weren't sliding into the ground.
The only hedge staffs that I know of are in the north. Others are not likely out in the open.
With the understanding of yada 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 state secret, they seem very custom.
Yes. A hedge staff can be used in conjunction with other magics for a purpose. They are a good a very epic building block to rituals.
Wouldn't happen to have a user's guide somewhere for the ones up north?
He doesn't. He kind of shakes his head slightly. No.
The wizards who made him still alive?
Most definitely. He kind of stared off there for a little bit as he was thinking about that.
Are they the kind of people that repair their work when it's broken?
We will have to file reports, Eggy and I, that will likely go before the other officials, bureaucrats, and perhaps even, if of great enough importance, the Arcane Parliament.
There are two of them we're aware of that have been damaged and leaking shadows.
Damaged. Explain.
Yes. Well, the one that we captured had tools with them, and it looks like they were rubbing off some of the writing, specific parts of the writing. And with that, shadows leaking into our world. There was one at the bottom of the lake.
Yeah, the one in the lake, what was it? had a banshee or something trying to break
Yeah.
its way through?
Yes. Yeah, but it was tied there, couldn't leave.
A banshee. It is a powerful undead elven spirit.
We will
I
dispatch
think
it.
one of the Lady Knights of the Dusk Lords became a banshee in the Shadow War.
Well, she didn't give a name, so who can say?
He nods. There is a hedge staff at a citadel that is still under control of the Imperium in the north. I shall go there.
Intact?
To my knowledge, it is. I will go there immediately and go have a look.
Would you care for some company? Our warriors are very adept at fighting shadows.
Damian almost spits his drink. Like, we almost died.
The Citadel of the Three Wings is a military outpost. I don't think that gladiators may raise some suspicion. A mage of the Duke will not.
Understood.
You might want to check on your outpost at Cradle Lake. They're not faring too well there.
Yeah, those guys are scared shitless of some stuff going on around them. Might want to take a look at them. I'm Cade.
He just nods.
Sam.
There are diplomats.
Diplomat.
If diplomat means punch a guy till he stops moving, then yeah, I'm that one.
He nods that yeah, they've got an outpost at Crater Lake, and
Might get a chance to look at the banshee.
that I will not be doing today.
We
Nor
will dispatch it.
alone. Although I do really like your idea, Widget, of using a hedge staff to make incorporeal things corporeal. It'll give me something to think about.
Got the might of 1,000 worlds behind you. Hope it could be used for some good.
We should try, in our own way, to solve this problem.
Oh yes.
Which one?
The other thing about having 1,000 worlds is it's easy to be kind of bumped down the priority list because one of them might have something even worse than a never-ending swarm of shadows.
Oh, and they do. The multiverse is a very chaotic and troubling place. My fear is that an Imperial solution may be just as destructive.
Understood.
Their magic tends to be
Final.
All or nothing.
like
Absolute.
like a hammer.
There's a nail. There's a nail. There's a nail.
Duncan seems less... He seems more troubled after this meeting as he kind of wanders off.
We didn't have nothing good to say to him.
No.
Hey, look at all the busted stuff.
I said I would take him to the prisoner.
I know where the prisoners are kept. Enjoy the spoils of your labor. And apologies about your friend.
Thank you. Should we take these to?
Do you know how to stuff a shadow back in its body? Or send it off to the,
He like has
Yeah,
a
after
pained
Rome.
look. He glances at Arlen like Arlen should know, and
It's all right. It's all right, Sam.
the spirit of a shadow has been damned. Destruction of an intelligent undead sends them to oblivion. You will need powerful magic to bring your friend back.
Thank you, Duncan.
Arlen's got powerful
Thanks a
magic.
lot, Duncan.
Arlen's got powerful magic.
He
He'll make it
bows and
work.
leaves the room. Jarvis is waiting for him, and he take
He's
me
not powerful enough to grow his legs back, but
take me to the custodian. We have much
Powerful
to
enough to buy a
discuss.
flying carpet.
So are we taking this?
So
magic
Demon Lord
stone?
wants to use a villain point to give someone a curse. Who are you cursing, Demon Lord?
With a curse of pride, who could that be?
Let me see what the
veal magic.
situation is.
Wild magic.
You want to curse Damian. Okay.
Damian.
I don't think a curse of pride will really affect his character at all. Quite
Like, I
frankly.
feel better. I feel much better.
Well, it's the outcomes of the actions might be more readily apparent. Or
Or maybe it's just, I'll fight the Bailo. Watch me.
Let's see. Where are the damn?
So are we gonna take?
wish to make him more of an asshole.
I don't know if I can do that.
we're getting to the limits of what the player behind the character is capable of. I'm hoping, unless there's whole new depths to Mark's psyche.
Marty, do you take magic items with him?
I'm gonna have to watch documentaries on
One.
serial killers just to get ideas if he gets any.
So what I'm gonna say, Demon Lord, is just save your point. Where are you on here? Nemi, there we go. Nemi, save your villain point. I already have kind of like plot plans for some of the characters, so it's a neat idea.
It's already in motion by the player himself.
Yeah, there's already a dance going on between the players and the DM.
Maybe he's been cursed this entire time, and he's actually a saint.
I believe that.
Yeah, he didn't take any. He said enjoy the spoils of your labor, and he didn't take
He just
anything.
took the shadow wand. Or?
Yeah.
The wand, right?
Yep.
I gave him the least useful shadow item we had that had charges.
It should be in hell if you need me, Marty. Thanks, Demon Lord. You've got a fan mark for Damian to be more assholey.
That's one of those. That's a sentence. That sentence, I shall be in hell if you need me, Marty. That is a sentence.
Yep.
2 years ago, we would have been going, that's a sentence that has been spoken.
Yep. I think it's just we haven't played Damian in a while, so that's probably what's going on. Feel free to start divvying up the gear. He does pause. He did pause and noticed Norin's book of spells and the apprentice ring sitting on top of it, because that was
You know
Duncan's
what?
apprentice.
I think even Damien would have said, if Duncan's coming, just give it to him. Just for diplomacy's sake.
Yeah, we'll say that
friend.
that was delivered to Duncan.
Yeah.
I'm just gonna cross that off.
Yeah, I forgot about that. But yeah, even just from a politics point of view,
The
it's
gear
the
of
thing
the
to do.
gear of the mage is not.
and it's not that much. It's more of a sentimental thing.
Wait a second. Was he really good at magic missile?
I don't know.
He had magic missile in his spellbook.
Duncan.
Okay, so you
Dude, we just gotta
Yeah.
go chase after Duncan
Yep.
for a second.
you catch him in the hallway chatting with Jarvis.
You have a minute of time, Duncan, if you would.
Widget. Jarvis goes off and
Your apprentice, was he fond of magic missile?
yes, he spoke of an item that he was thinking about crafting that would boost the number of missiles that a wizard could fire with the casting of such spells. He could also prepare the spell, I believe, without consulting his spellbook.
As a shadow, he was casting it.
Do you mean as a shadow?
And it really, really hurt. It was making me weaker every goddamn time.
Cade,
Tell him that. Tell him that.
Uh,
Okay, Widget?
Alright, Cade.
Hey, Arlen, do you think he heard me?
Hey, there's something to punch over here, Sam.
All right.
So, if he had any,
Then we were in the tomb at the same time. No
Did
wonder
he
it
know-
was so deadly.
did he know anything that you wouldn't want the Dusk Lord to know?
I think we're in trouble, Widget.
That's why I'm bringing up, like,
If you-
weapons of mass destruction. At least having them on standby might not be the worst idea.
The Palorite face, while the Church of the Five-Faced God may not appreciate it, is a powerful device. I don't think you would want to be a shadow creature or an undead if that face were put back into place. Anywhere near Terraslene.
What's that you say? Look out, Renee.
Look out, Renee. Look out, Monkey. Look out, Lady. Like Latara. Yeah.
Radamer, if he's alive, is damaged by that sort of stuff, so a bunch of people just explode. He looks at the spellbook. Did you destroy him? Is his spirit at least at rest?
We destroyed his shadow.
Then
Sorry.
Then there will.
Now, let's be clear. Shadows casting spells are truly horrific.
Vloughveng is but one of the Dusk Lords. They numbered 8.
Elves. Why couldn't it be 3 or 5? Humans like 3s. Humans like 5s. 8.
Silken, I believe, was the Banshee. Vloughveng was the Arch Shadow. There are others.
We should probably spend a little bit of time in the library here to get kind of a rundown of what potentially might be lurking if they are being unleashed upon this world.
There is no bringing Norrin back, then. He learned most of these spells from me. He holds out Norrin's spellbook.
Okay.
And just gives it to
Receive
Widget.
it.
Yep.
Yeah.
Hopefully can help.
Well, we'll make it help.
Thank you, Widget. He just nods awkwardly and then toodles
well,
off.
Tip of the hat and sort of walk back. Would you just know when to shut up, Duncan?
Why? He needs information. You share information, it's important in war.
Oh, there's a way to do it, you big clod.
Yeah, I just did.
No, you didn't do it.
I don't understand. My information was delivered. He understands now. So, when are we training, guys?
Oh, any second now. Just go out and wait. We'll be right there.
Done. Hut, two, hut, two, hut, two, hut, two, hut.
Now, who wants to go for a drink?
You just start stretching. We'll be out there in a minute.
Okay. I don't know if you're using any of the while they're training any time of scribbling things into your spellbook.
I can learn from.
You can.
Okay.
I think the check will be a little harder though.
Because I know my spellbook changed. Party pages. Is it the Master Spellbook Library? No.
Oh, I will paste it into the Circus of Dread spellbook library. Boop.
Cool.
Apparently you've got a bunch of spell books.
El Buco.
Norin's Book of Spells, Volume 2, has such hits as Dimension Door, Greater Invisibility, Locate Creature, and Cold Fire Shield.
Cool.
Any of the weird spells in there? He's got Gravity Bow, Ant Hole.
Gravity Bow's pretty cool. Spider Climb's pretty cool.
All right, so that'll give you something to do while you've got 5 days.
Yeah, that, and I'd like to check the library here for the list of Dusk Lords.
Sure. So you're going to do
The
some...
Dusk Lordopedia, Volume 2, or whatever.
got it. So you're going to do some research in the library at Terraslene about the Shadow War and who were the Dusk Lords. Awesome. Give me a Knowledge Arcana check while you're looking into this.
Okay.
It could also be a Knowledge History instead.
Knowledge Shadow?
Damian will help.
Damian's training.
Oh, that's right.
Knowledge Shadow give us synergy bonus?
Do you have 5 ranks?
I've got 8 ranks.
Yes.
There you go.
Plus 2.
Which is... I have 1 rank in Arcana, so I...
Oh, okay.
very... 15. It's a Shadow War. It's a war with shadows.
All right, give me
It wasn't a war with shadow puppets. It was with actual shadows.
Give me a D8. You actually find writings about one of the Dusk Lords. You don't find like a treatise that just tells you about it. You learn the name of one of the the Dusk Lords are actually divvied into Lords and Knights, or Lords, Ladies, and Knights. There were 4 greater Dusk Lords and 4 Knights. You end up reading a little bit about one of the Knights by the name of Venharis. Venharis.
Spelled with 2 R's. I was 1 letter off. That was pretty close.
They called him Venharis the Assassin and Venharis the Archer, also known as the Black Arrow.
Well, guess what, Mr. Assassin Black Arrow Man? Renee's going to take your spot.
Venharis was said to have arrows of death for every occasion.
I want his quiver. For every occasion? Including maybe a goo? That's awesome.
You know, the Colonel at the time wept when he found out that Venharis defected to the enemy.
So the Dusk Knights and Lords, they defected, right? They didn't...
Yep.
They weren't, like... Okay.
Yep, there was once big, shiny, happy elven kingdoms. And Dracia Umbervilda came along and poached a bunch of them.
Which
Renee finds a new rival. I'll nurture
I
you.
wonder if she's not doing the same thing again.
I have no
Damian says over drinks.
yeah. Widget is filling everyone in over drinks. And are you having drinks in the place where the general drinks, or are you avoiding that area?
No, because we know what the general drinks.
Okay.
Bloody Marys.
Exactly. And
Sorry, Blood of
Susans?
Mary. Sorry.
Okay, so Widget was filling you in with what he learned.
So yeah, there was apparently an Archer guy. Took me a while. Apparently, Elvish libraries use a different numbering methodology, and it's difficult if you don't know which colonel's which. I mean, why would you group your library through time as opposed to through name?
No, they remember most of it, I suppose. So that's a working understanding of High Elven actually helps understand. It's a complicated system. Knowledge. Is it history or arcana we're looking at
For what?
Any other Dusk Lords, I guess.
That just Damian happens to know because he's a bard?
Yeah, exactly.
Okay. Give me
I'll take my 20 today and get 30.
All right. Give me a D8.
Six.
Okay. They were sisters.
I remember this because I love sisters.
Magmis and Fëanor.
Oh, Magmis. Okay. I was
Magmis.
gonna say what?
Magnus is one of the sisters.
Magmis
Prison Break
and
all over again.
Fëanor were arcane casters. You believe Magmis was the witch that was part of a coven?
Okay. Now, did she break from her coven when she?
No, she joined into a coven when she defected, and her sister is said to be able to freeze people's hearts and spend a long period of time up in the frigid north learning rhyme magic.
Oh, that sounds awful.
So, is it the kind of sisters you like?
But
Frosty and the Witch?
Not those ones in particular.
Learning rap magic. I said rhyme. not the other type of rhyme. Just learning how to beatbox.
She's the mumble queen of the new age.
I've traveled thousands of miles to the north to this snowy wasteland to drop some rhymes on your ass.
Rap magic.
Uh,
It's fucking funny, dude.
So, we got the Banshee Lady in the Lake. We got the Lord of Shadow, Lorvel. We got some assassin guy, Vinharis. We got two more ladies, the Witch and the Ice Mage. Ice would make sense. Maybe a lot of undead sort of.
Well, we could keep at it, right? Keep looking. Their name's got to be down there somewhere.
Oh yeah. I mean, I found something. Came for a drink. There's gonna be Arlen. You need to speak up, Arlen. Like,
Yes. Yes.
if you know of other magics of light, they would be useful.
What do you need exactly?
Like
Right.
the undead murdering kind.
Yeah, I've been preparing those. I've been learning those.
No, do you have a network? Are there others? When you have a moral conundrum, whose guidance do you seek?
The sea serpent. Who else?
What do you wish to know, Widget?
Can you call in more light mages to help?
No. I'm the only one. I'm the only one. Perhaps we could use our
Such a
caravan.
knob.
But I will speak with my deity and inform him of the situation. What he chooses to do is up to him. If he sees fit to bring more to our aid, then he will. If not, then we will not have the aid, and I will suffice.
Well, he certainly sounds like a god.
Oh yes.
Well, if the Imperium scorches the planet to eliminate the infestation, it will be displeasing to him, I suppose.
Yes. I will have to
Or
inform
that
him
might
of
be
this
the
as well.
might be the end of his prophecy. Scorch the planet, the whole place covered in light and fire.
There is much that I will have to discuss with him. That is true.
Is he like a caring guy, or is he more, you know?
He is.
Okay, is he carrying?
I'm pretty sure he is.
He is, I think.
All right.
He hasn't let me down.
Well, you go visit him.
No, with all due respect, he's only going to grant spells to one guy, so it's not like he's that busy.
It has been a while. And I shall make that trip. I have learned the proper magics that allow me to travel there.
It is probably this sort of request is something that maybe you want to, you know, face to face, mano a mano.
Indeed.
Can I come? I've never met a god before.
I apologize. We will have to leave that for a later date.
I
Would
don't
this be-
want to go. I want to sit.
Hey, Snake Man!
So,
I see you didn't like Widget.
Boo!
That happened.
I think I'll keep my smart comments to myself today.
Okay, Undwin is spending time at the tower, and Godiva gets 9 more training points for her charisma. She needs 4 more successes. This closes out the week.
All right.
So did Duncan say good, like have fun with your stuff, or are we just gonna go and sell magic items to Phineas?
No, he
Is that
doesn't.
still-
He doesn't want any of it. He was only interested in the shadow magic items.
There's very specific things that he was interested in.
Yeah, she only got
And
one more
the good
success.
shadow magic items we didn't show to him. Because people have them on their character sheets.
Yep.
Like the Duke's ring. We just kept that hand closed because that's where the ring was. Because I don't want to give up the ring of invisibility.
Okay. At this point, the Doomsday characters begin to teleport back to Terraslene, along with bodies.
And then I told the guy, I told him, yeah, get in here. You get it?
Zita,
Hey, guys, look
Renee,
what we found. Look what we lost.
Callie. I need a Murgovane. Where's
Been a
Murder?
busy week.
Murdervane.
Where
Does
are
anybody
we?
actually call him that? Because I think he'd probably get offended.
No, I'm. He hits hard and has spells. I like it. I really like the build.
This is Murgovane. But it's actually Nipples.
Is Grizaak starting to believe that you're the new reincarnated Nibbles?
It's a beautiful kind of insane. Oh, we need a Zyra. Oh yeah, Zyra.
It's like your memory is what makes you happy.
Yeah, Nipples is right there. Look at him. Strong. He's hit hard. Big. Like a giant. It's like a dinosaur. Just like Nibbles was. Like a dinosaur.
And Muffy. We need Maffei. We need Sparky, because Sparky's out of the bag now.
One sec. Oh, yeah.
Am I missing anyone?
All the other people were
All the other people that.
away with
That's right. Well, let's get them at least on the token on the.
what's his face? Abacus.
Oh, right. Vloughveng and Abacus and all them. Token library. Dread and Circus.
Mm-hmm.
This was the crypt. All the petrified victims.
Yeah, they'd be coming back first.
This is still a very powerful fighting force. I know we had a bunch of losses, but this is still a very powerful fighting force.
Yes, it is.
Like, oh my god.
Without argument. I think once I finally get Callie Gestalt,
Gestalted. Yes. I'll have the most powerful wife you've ever seen.
She's gonna be pretty tough. What's her gonna? What's her
She's not gonna fuck with nothing.
Sam, take out the trash or I will beat your ass.
what's the gestalt? You know?
It's gonna be fighter. It's just gonna be feats.
Feats.
For
and then I
Callie?
pick other feats.
Gestalt Callie?
Yeah.
Cool.
Oh,
Yes,
give her crazy armor.
Sam's 9th level feat was weapon focus because it gives him access to performance feats through combat, the combat action. You can go up the whole feat chain from there.
Yep.
So it was actually better than taking improved improved critical.
Okay. There is a group that teleports back, but they kind of kept to themselves. They didn't go searching out for Arlen because that wasn't really... It wasn't the first thing they wanted to do. You end up hearing that there are some strange visitors aside from you in Terraslene, but more importantly, dragging loads and loads of treasure with new faces and some familiar faces missing are the adventurers that return from the tomb of the Iron Medusa. They arrive at the teleportation room and then go racing up to where you guys are staying, and Callie is the one that like beats everyone up there.
Who've actually gained the fleet feat.
Where's Sam? she throws her arms around you. I was out in the wilderness and I hunted an owlbear and it was really sad and the place was full of devils.
And then we went to a place where there were shadows and there was a whole group of people and then they died. Then I was stuck in a tree with Cade, and Cade's a horrible conversationalist. And there's more shadows and then Edward died. Oh,
I miss you too. And it's like, what
Why
did
are
they just say?
crying?
They're crying and kissing and hugging,
We
and
all do that.
Zita pauses a little bit as she turns the corner and sees Sam and Callie kind of like kissing and hugging and being all emotional.
Zita comes around the corner. Cade puts his arms out. It breaks like kissy lips. Like,
I think we have to do this.
A shocking grasp to the face. I'm kidding. I don't think she has that spell. Let me see what spell she
No.
has after. your face.
Sparky comes running up to Cade and gives him a couple of zaps, like.
What is that?
Oh, that is a Sparky.
Oh.
There's a horned guy and a guy with heavy
Who are all these
armor,
guys?
and yeah, there's
Where are you?
a big lizard man with a tail.
They were petrified.
Where's Nibbles? And where's Evander?
Renee shakes his head.
I'm
Where's the guy with the long hair? You know, the dead guy, the guy that likes dead things.
Radamer is also stuck.
He's on your shoulder.
Renee has wrapped up in the funerary shroud that Nibbles was occasionally wrapped in, Radamer's body.
Okay.
Ugg and Arlen are being told that the others have returned, and pretty soon there's a very loud room where a bunch of you are drinking and eating and kind of getting reacquainted.
If Zyra has the option, she's not sitting beside the Asmodean.
Oh yeah, sure. You can position yourselves to where you're sitting. The Asmodean is lurking around the room and seems to be talking to Vloughveng a bit. How very interesting. I did not know your people dug that deep. Yeah. That's what Vloughveng says. They're having a conversation about where Vloughveng came from.
So you're new. What's it like being in stone? Stoner.
Who's Cade talking to?
Nobody laughs at my jokes.
Grizaak, where are you sitting? Are you sitting at the kids' table?
Oh, where's it? No, Grizaak's got overland flight. He's
Okay.
just floating around.
Okay.
Like he's above. He's like 10 feet up. Like, hey, what's going on? And he's got like a kilt basically, so things are not pretty from if you look up.
Oh.
Radamer's weekend at Bernie's in the corner.
So, did you find the artifact?
Allow me to. I'm sorry for your losses. We also suffered losses on our side. This is Arlen. What our tale was not as pretty. Was not pretty either. We did not find the artifact. Apparently, there's shadow folk around. Many of them have died, but there's 4 still roaming around, and they took the cradle with them. It appears to be something that the shadow folk can use. Caramel had pictures of him that showed the thing following him around. It was tiny, a small black orb, but it appears that it can change size.
Yes.
There is also a greater shadow or something that's moving around. I think it's called the Dusk Lord, and it controls shadows. I believe
Okay.
a shadow swarm might be rising in the north.
A real bard now is going to make a bardic knowledge check. On Dusk Lords.
It controls many shadows at a time. They're not mindless anymore. And it
Knowledge
also-
Arcana, Marty, or was it? Or-
Knowledge Arcana or history, if you want to know the names and the shtick of each of the Shadow Lords.
Can I get a synergy?
From having
If
more than
I
5
have-
ranks in
I've
one or
got-
the other? Sure.
Yes.
Got ranks and all the things.
Yep.
All right, so that's 31, and I'll take 20, giving me a 51.
Okay, why didn't they just ask you in the first place? Okay.
So happy. Look how
Far as we
happy she
know.
is.
The ones that they don't know about are... There's actually 9 of them, because
I'll show you how to use the. I'll show you how to use the library widget.
because there were twins named Kilam and Quelzem. Kilam and Quelzem were supposed to be the most graceful, deadly swordsmen of their day, and they're called the Twin Swordsmen. And there's something about their makeup where they always fought together in each other's shadow.
They have this stupid rat folk feats where they sneak attack from the same square.
You don't know whether it's a single being split into 2 or 2 beings combined, but they're considered a one of the knights collectively.
Interesting.
Then we have Persian. Pergion was a priest who turned from the Seldarine faith to Umbravilda herself.
There's some
That's 180 degree.
He called out to all the Seldarine and committed not only an act of betrayal against the Coronal, but a betrayal against the gods.
Oh, look, Arlen, you and he can have a rivalry. You can have your sea snake of light, and he can have his shadow snake, and they can fight for you.
The chief and most powerful of all the Dusk Lords was named Lord Rallomemnor. Ralomemnar was more powerful as in warrior-like. Heavy armor wielding warrior that rode a shadow dragon into battle.
See, that's the important part there.
Yeah,
He was really good with a sword, and he rode a dragon.
Yeah.
Start off with the dragon part.
Start off with the dragon.
And he knows how to fight.
He fought with a lance.
You know, I'm pretty certain that
The dragon carries a big lance, a huge lance.
I'm pretty certain that I saw that, but I thought it was an entry about a dragon. I thought that one was a fairy tale.
Oh,
Right,
no.
you saw a picture, you're like, ah, that looks nice. Now tell me something I don't know.
All right.
And with your 51, you're guessing that there is a clan of shadow dragons, like in the shadow plane, that serves
Okay.
Dracia, because several times his shadow dragons have died. And when I mean shadow dragon, I mean an actual physical dragon, not
Dragon,
like a
yeah.
dragon.
A shadow.
Shadow
A dragon
dragon.
who breathes strength.
I thought
6 strength damage.
I haven't fought a shadow dragon in many campaigns. But the last time I fought one, I'm pretty sure they did negative levels. Like it was.
Oh, it
like,
might be negative levels. You're right.
It was like. It was awful. Is what it was.
Well, don't worry. It will be the cohort of the guy. It definitely will be the guy is the cohort of the Shadow Dragon. My mount is my cohort. Or my rider. The word. My rider is my cohort. So, what are we gonna do?
Oh, that was the roll for the random event for this week. And there was none.
We
Right.
have studied the stats, head stats. To alter them.
Do they tell us their story, I guess?
Yeah. Go back and watch the last 5 episodes. Are you sharing? Are you sharing what happened?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Before we left, we studied the head staff. We wanted to know why it was.
I actually have a question that has not been answered yet. Renee's going to put Grinthark's dagger on the table.
Oh, I'm
Oh
sorry.
yeah, he's
Uh,
a
You're not
dragon right now.
Yes, I needed a thief. So I created a facsimile of Grinthark.
Actually, you thought it was Grinthark, but Grinthark created the. He said it was him, but it was actually a copy of him.
Yeah.
There was a time where you believed it was actually Grinthark.
Oh, I did. Oh, I wasn't on purpose. It was.
Yeah.
Oh. Okay. All right.
And you think Grinthark was trying to evade capture by someone called the Heart of Gold.
It was. I thought it was Grinthark, but it wasn't. I suppose. When he died, he kind of poofed into ice as opposed to, flesh.
Bloody mess. Well, we kind of know.
Nemi sent you something, Marty.
Also, I kind of know the general idea of where he is. I mean, I think that dragon got him, but we can go and ask him. Shut up, Sparky. It was funny.
So why don't we focus a little bit on the new faces around the table? Because there's a bunch of people here who I don't trust.
Yes, please forgive my horns and my bad manners. I was so happy to see such glad tidings with your reunion. My name is Kamos Lorne.
Came out his horn.
I don't want to sound rude, Kamos, but look like you're wearing the gig of somebody Asmodean?
Ah, yes, there are many devilish sigils upon my upon my robes. I hope that this does not offend you. Know that I am not here to cause any trouble, but to offer my services, sort of like a
Or all
mercenary.
free to pray to whomever they feel to pray to.
I'm not judging, but I'm judging. So,
What? These people are very good with contracts. Tammy's just eating. Like, I don't give a shit. It's motive.
Ah, yes, and who might you be?
Oh, Damian Van Imp. Lord Damian Van Imp.
A pleasure. Such an austere family name. Do you know much about your lineage?
I must. I'm a bard, and it's my lineage. I'm assuming.
Yeah, give me a roll.
Alright.
Knowledge Arcana.
I'll roll. Knowledge Arcana?
Yep.
I already used my 20. Shit.
you should show
I
off.
got one anyway. 30. Oh, you're referring to... Blah.
Started vomiting on the
Your family, the story goes, your family got its name because there was a wizard type that bonded with an imp.
Okay.
Like it's like back in your family line, you know,
No.
there was a wizard. He seems to think that this is a big deal.
Okay. He's kind of... I guess he'll make a bluff check to kind of send a message. If you guys have something to say, I don't think I want you to say it here.
Sure. Like Ixnay on the imp.
Actually, on the Emperor. You see how they're reacting? 26.
Okay, he's you catch him smiling at you. Vloughveng
Pleasure to meet you.
from Vavernus.
Ahmed, I'm just going to point out there's a lot of dwarves around this table, and for a second there I thought Vloughveng was yours, and I was be like, why are all your characters dwarves? No, you have an elf. It's all good. So, how'd you end up in the tomb?
Ah, I went there exploring, trying to find artifacts and magics related to my deity. Unfortunately, the Medusa that dwelled there, well, she had our way with many of us. I was hired, says Vloughveng.
What are your intentions and motivations now? You've been freed. Your mission seems to be over. I don't know how long you've been in statues. You've been with the Medusa. What will you do now?
I don't think we've finished our introductions yet.
Yeah, there's, what was it? I know this guy was calling you Nibbles. You're not Nibbles, right? This isn't, like, you're not actually Nibbles?
That's Murgovine. Murgovine. It's the new Nibbles. Shh.
The flying dwarf is insane.
Is Grizaak's upside down now?
At a minimum,
I'm serious.
the Murgovane is a good judge of character.
I was trapped 300 years ago. I was a soldier in the first Shadow War. We were tracking enemies. I was turned to stone.
That's unfortunate. Soldiers
Zita
should
and
follow
Zyra
me.
and her friends and their friends turned me back. My only goal is to continue this war if it is starting anew. The shadows took everything from me, and I will take everything from them.
Like your chutzpah.
Hey, I'm Cade. I fight.
Good for you.
Yes, I trained under Saint Vimaris a while ago.
Maffei floats out of the token and just bows to the group. There's a ghost behind Zyra.
Cade jumps off the jumps onto the table.
Careful!
You're stepping on the food.
Don't step on the food.
There's a shadow right there.
That is a dear friend of mine. Cade. Was it?
Yes.
She's been with me a long time. Always good
Looks
to
like,
meet new friends.
Sparky comes over. He knows Mathey and is